Hello everyone, it's Ryan with Dark Winter Moon Boston. And today I wanted to show you how I am going to bless and dress a candle that I'm going to dedicate for my work with Aphrodite. So let's get started. So here I have her altar and some lovely things laid out for her, including roses, some nice essential oils over here, and some pink sea salt, and a few other things like a mirror that I know she likes, some perfume, a nice little journal for her. I call it my book of love. A tarot deck that's kind of been charging here for a while that I like to use. Seemed appropriate. I'm not sure exactly why, but I don't question these things anymore. And then a candle that I've got that's been sitting here charging for a while. And one of the reasons that it's been sitting here charging for a while is that well, again, intuition. It felt right that it needed to sit there. It didn't seem like it was the right time to bless it. But today, I got the nudge from herself, Aphrodite, bless her wisdom, to start doing that. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I've made space in the center of my altar to Aphrodite for this candle and to work with it in order to dress it and bless it for use in communing with her. It's also a bit of an offering because I'm taking the time to put my energy and care into it, and also use an oil that she likes, which is Rose Absolute. I'll talk a little bit more about Rose Absolute in a second. But I take this time and this care with it as an offering because I'm going to burn this candle to her. And when you put that intent and that care into it, it lets the gods know that you're serious about what you're wanting to do. It lets them know that you're serious about working with them. So, what I was going to say about Rose Absolute, especially, first of all, it's especially seems right for Aphrodite. Roses are a beautiful example of the sacred feminine. They kind of look like a vagina, as a lot of flowers do. And so I've chosen Rose Absolute, not only because intuitively it feels right, and I have a sense that Aphrodite enjoys it, but also because of those obvious parallels between roses and feminine divinity. Now, Rose Absolute, it's really difficult to get pure rose oil. Think about the distilling process. It takes so many roses to get an ounce of actual Rose Absolute, pure rose oil, because it's hard to get because it's so expensive. And so I chose this Rose Absolute that's cut in jojoba oil. You'll see a lot of oils cut in jojoba oil because it's a neutral base. It really doesn't have its own scent or color. And one thing that really sold me on this particular oil was that that it really smells like roses. Like, it carries that essence. So that's very important, that when you are choosing a rose oil, that even though it's not pure, that it smells and like you want it to smell, and it evokes those feelings that you're wanting to capture. I got this, I'm from Arkansas originally. I got this at a store in Arkansas. So the brand is Aura Acacia, Pure Essential Oils. I'll kind of show. So if you're interested in finding that, I haven't really done any research about if they have an online store or not. All right, so what I like to do, I don't light the candle first, but I do take the wick and make sure that it's as straight as possible, because you want, if you can, to avoid getting the oil on the wick itself, because it tends to make your candle sputter. And so the first thing I do is I take a bit of the essential oil on my hands. And this can be used for any candle you're going to bless. It doesn't just have to be a candle that you're dedicating to a particular deity. And what I like to do is take it on my middle fingers mainly, and touch my middle fingers together and rub it together as I'm allowing the energy to flow up my body into that oil. So I'm infusing that oil with my intent and my energy. And I'm holding in my heart the feelings that I want to evoke in working with Aphrodite, and also in my head the idea that I'm charging this oil for my intended purpose. And so in this case, what I would also do is in particular call on Aphrodite. And the Greek gods in particular tend to appreciate you saying at least some of their names or listing off some of their characteristics. And so with Aphrodite, what I would say is Madam, Mistress, Courtesan, Star of the Sea, Jewel of the Waves, Lady of the Waters, Lady of the Dark Waters, Lady of the Mysteries, Lady of Love and Lust and Sex. I call on thee, come. Join me in blessing and dedicating this candle to you, this creature of wax and wick. So mote it be. And then once the oil is charged, oh, and by the way, if you want a meditation on how to raise energy for this purpose, then I've linked it in this video. So now I take the oil and I start in the middle of the candle and I work down on all sides. And you can always add more oil if you need more. Generally, I try to put enough on my fingers to do the bottom half of the candle first. And so you do want to start in the middle and move down. And the idea is that you're connecting your candle to earth energy. Just like that. Then you take a little more oil. Add a bit more energy to it, holding in your heart and your mind all of those thoughts and feelings and that blessing from Aphrodite. You can say it all again if you want. Then you work up from the center. And thus you're connecting your candle to sky energy. And one more time, what I like to do, take a little more. And remember, careful with this portion because you don't want to get a whole bunch of oil on the wick. I'll kind of spiral around the top here. And then, after that's done, take some of that energy. To imagine it going into the candle, through the oil, holding those thoughts and feelings and blessings in my heart and in my mind. Imagining the energy flow out from my hands into the candle. Imagining being connected to earth and sky as the energy flows into the candle. Through my hands, through the oil. And then when I feel like it's done, it's done. So mote it be. So that is how you simply dress a candle and dedicate it to a particular deity. Now, keeping in mind, it's going to be different every single time. And what I mean by that is it's going to be particular to the deity or spell work that you want to do. So be very mindful and thoughtful about what type of oil you want to use, and does it intuitively match what you're wanting to accomplish? Or does it intuitively match the deity? And there are also lots of great references online about correspondences, so what kind of oils do what kind of things, and that sort of thing. And now, what I'll do with my candle to finalize everything is I will light it. Let it burn for a second, make sure it's going. And then recenter myself in those thoughts and feelings, and the idea that I'm dedicating this to Aphrodite. Bless her wisdom. And then now that we're done, we offer it to her. Hail, Aphrodite, beautiful and fair. Madam, mistress, courtesan, star of the sea and jewel of the waves, lady of the waters, lady of the dark waters, lady of the mystery of the waters, please take this blessed candle, a symbol of our work together, as an offering to you. Hail and welcome. And then I take this candle, I place it to burn on her altar. And that's pretty much it. Very simple, pretty straightforward. And so now there we have the altar with the candle burning. And I always think they look more lovely with the bright flame burning on them. And so now what we have here is a lovely dedication and offering to Aphrodite and a further commitment to work with her and gain her blessings and wisdom. So mote it be. I hope you all have enjoyed this, and if you would, I would appreciate likes and subscribes, comments, and have a wonderful and blessed week.